Welcome to Destination Jamaica again. We have a phenomenal Jamaican, Kamau, right? She is known for doing such extraordinary things in her little but Talawa country. She is a phenomenal educator, writer, prolific writer, and is passionate about Marcus Garvey, natural food, sustainable living, and she does really good at fasting. People, she is definitely a champion and someone that represents little Jamaica really well. Now, Kama, can you tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of what you do?
Hello, Latoya. Thanks for having me, and hi to everybody out there watching and listening. So, my name is Kamau Mahakoe. I am a writer, a teacher, a mother, in addition to other things, a YouTuber like you are, Latoya.
Yes.
And yeah, so I'm passionate about so many different things, and I want to live my life exploring as many of those passions as I can. So I operate a school in Greater Portmore, St. Catherine. I'm the principal and co-founder of that school. We started out as homeschool with my four biological children, and we gradually expanded that. So I've been teaching for over 20 years, and writing is another of my passion. I would say my first and most beloved um, pastime. Right. So I currently have 28 books published and just about as many in note form to be written.
Oh,
So
yes.
yes, and at present I actually have 10 YouTube channels, but four are really up and running. I'm
Yes.
working on the others.
Yes. No, I personally have many questions for you, but we're going to keep it as short as possible. We're going
Okay.
to lead with the education. You were recently in the news for, having an 11-year-old getting a distinction, right, in
Yes.
math, which a lot of people struggle with. So if you could speak a bit on that and then expand into your philosophy as an educator.
Certainly, Latoya. Well, my student, Dreshawn Napier, he's he turned 11 in November. When he sat the City and Guilds Mathematics Level 2 exam, he was actually still 10. And yes, he received that distinction. But this is not an uncommon thing at our school because we do nurture our youngsters from they come um, in grade one. As a matter of fact, whatever level they come at, we provide that nurturing, and so that when they are in grade six, they are able to do three CSEC subjects: mathematics, human and social biology, and English language. So even with the pandemic going on and the exams being postponed and uncertainty and so on, so we still pressed forward and we are keeping our mandate. Now, my school, the Kemet Maasai Academy, which is also the name of the one of my YouTube channels where we focus on mathematics videos on that channel. Now, Marcus Garvey is Marcus Garvey's philosophy is the basis of our school, and as a matter of fact, our pledge is a poem taken from Marcus Garvey. All life must be a useful plan that calls for daily, serious work. The work that wrings the best from man, the work that cowards often shirk. That is our mandate. That's what we stand by. And so we believe very much in nurturing youngsters to be independent thinkers and to have integrity, to be entrepreneurs, to have nation building at the forefront of their existence, not just to go out into the society and become employees. We want them to go out and create jobs, for themselves and for others to create opportunities to do some independent thinking and find new ways to solve old problems and new problems. So that is our philosophy.
Oh, that's pretty great.
Mhm.
Um, and listener, she's known for, being that pathway for children to be the best that they can be. Her very own children are high achievers, as well as the students at her school. How do you do it? I know it takes a village, but how do you play your part? And so well.
Well, we have incorporated within our curriculum and in the structure of how we operate as a school, we have included things like meditation, motivation sessions for our students,
Mm-hmm.
Black achievers, which they have to study men, women, and children who look like them and came from similar circumstances and who have achieved exceptionally well. We have a course in Garveyism, which Marcus Garvey emphasized nation building and self-reliance, independence. And so and we put a lot of emphasis on mathematics, science, history, some of these subjects that blacks struggle with because they have been told that they started in slavery and they can't do math, they can't do science. And so we have to ensure that our children know better.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, our people did not start in slavery.
Mm-hmm.
We gave to the world the first civilization, the first agriculture, the first architecture, the first astronomy, etc. And we have the monuments. We're not guessing and spelling. We have the monuments to show. So it's very important. With this knowledge, the students are armed and they understand that what we're asking of them is not impossible because we're showing them where it has been done time and time again. And so they
Mm-hmm.
just fall into place. It's much easier to convince a child that he or she can do it when you show them persons who have already done it, including yourself as a teacher. And just like they come, I always say to the parents, if a child came into the world and he or she saw us flying, they would fly. It would just be normal for them. Just like how they brush their teeth, they see you brushing your teeth. Just like if you want a child to read, let him see you reading. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we motivate them and we show them that it is possible, and so they don't doubt themselves.
Oh, it's pretty awesome. And I know that you have challenges. Could you tell us what that main challenge is and are one of the main challenges and how you overcome them in the education system or at your school?
The main challenges I think exist in the minds of the people. The perception that what you're asking the children to do is too difficult, is impossible. Even when the parents come and they do have that hope and they do have, they see where I have done it and my kids have done it, they still have that doubt, some of them. And because of that, it's it's almost as if sometimes the seeds that you try to plant when the child gets back home, it is dug up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because then there are naysayers in the
Mm-hmm.
household, maybe auntie whispering, why you're doing this, why you're pushing the child so much, why you're giving this tiny person so much to do, the neighbors who see them, because it takes courage.
Mm-hmm.
It takes courage to go against the tide.
Mm-hmm.
And I really do believe that's the greatest obstacle because once the parents are fully on board
Mm-hmm.
and we know we are fully on board and we can get the child to that point, then that is where the magic happens. Right. So we really need to, we are sometimes, I mean, you have parents who, from the get-go. They see the potential, and they share the vision. But you have some parents who they don't, and that creates an obstacle for us. Everything else for me, I can certainly manage. It's easy to overcome because I'm
Mhm.
fired up and I can transmit that to my students.
Okay, that's awesome. So, because you are the best person you can be, you pass that on to the children.
I certainly find a way to do it because I love what I do. I'm not
Mhm.
one of those teachers who, it's Monday morning and you can't get out of the bed because you don't want to go. I love to teach. I love children. I love nurturing them. I love especially seeing them achieve that which most persons think is impossible. That gives me a thrill. So every day when I get up, I'm ready to go.
Mhm. That's great. So that's a powerful message you're sharing with us. Come, mix up in you. Come,
Come on.
come on. And for our listeners, be empowering. It's never too big or too small for your child to achieve something that they want to. And I love what Kama said about, you know, we didn't start in slavery. It's way before that, and we have achieved a whole lot. And I think that's where we should start in schools, not telling them just about slavery, but telling them before slavery and some of the achievements that we have done. We're
Yes.
going to wrap up this section because we don't have that much time, and I want to shift the focus to you. Tell us something about as it relates to your school. How do people contact you if they need any of your lessons and your YouTube channel? Tell them all about how they can find you.
Okay, well, my school is located in 2 East, Greater Portmore. They can contact me by telephone, 876 Now, as I said, I have several YouTube channels, but the one that I would really recommend is the Kemet Maasai Academy, and that is the school's channel. And we have at present 240 something videos. We focus on mathematics and motivational videos. So there are mathematics videos for students and parents too, for those parents, especially now during the lockdown, who need to be there to help the students. So we have videos from grade 4. I combed through the syllabus for all the grades. So all the mathematics topics from grade 4. There's a grade 4 playlist, grade 5, grade 6, all the way up to CSEC mathematics. So that would be the channel that I would really encourage persons to go to the Kemet Maasai Academy. And I always say, put up your tent because there is just so much. There are so many resources on that channel to help you in every topic. And I know mathematics is something that, we struggle with because we are told it's not our thing. We're told the running and the dancing and the drama and the singing, fine, but not the math, not the science. So in order to level the field, we have to go overboard, put it that way. So definitely there is an emphasis on mathematics. And I love mathematics.
I know.
I love teaching mathematics. I love reading about and doing it. So the passion is definitely there, and I've tried to break down the concepts as much as I can, so anyone can go, whether you're 9 or you're 90 or beyond. You can put up your tent, go and
Um,
watch the videos and learn. And if there's something you're still not getting, drop a comment and I'll certainly respond.
oh, that's very helpful. And we'll link your YouTube channel in the description.
Thank you
Uh,
so much, Latoya.
you're welcome. Now, follow-up question before we move on to what motivates you. Math is said to be a very hard subject. Why is it not difficult to you? And also, if someone finds it difficult, what advice would you give to them to help them to overcome that?
I would say, well, I've always loved math.
Mhm.
Uh, Persons always ask me, well, how come you is like your left brain and right brain at the same time? Because I love the writing and the creative side of things,
Hmm.
and I love math.
Yes.
And it has always been that way for me. It's never really a challenge. I love I will coil up with a math book the way you would anybody would read a novel or a detective
Hmm.
mystery or something. So it relaxes me. What I
Hmm.
would encourage persons to do if they find it challenging is to approach mathematics with the same attitude that you would approach, let's say, a language text. Because, for example, there are terms used in mathematics where if you get your dictionary and read the definitions, it will help you a lot in understanding the concepts. And my students have to do when we're introducing a topic, their dictionary, they have to take out their dictionary and they have to look. For example, if we're doing simultaneous equations, right?
Hmm.
And we're doing the two methods, substitution and elimination. They have to look up the word simultaneous. Why do we call them simultaneous equations? Why is this method called the elimination method? What does it mean to eliminate? Why is this method called a substitution method? What does it mean to substitute? So I think the language is one of the things that hinders persons from understanding the math,
Oh.
because they don't think they need to go grab the dictionary and explore the meaning of the word to grasp the concept. And so they're looking at the concept in a bubble.
Yeah.
Also, I would encourage persons to understand the whys, not just accept. For example, there are so many different formulae in math, and typically you just say, okay, this is you do that to find
Hmm.
that, you do that to find that, but try to understand why. So,
Hmm.
for example, the if you want to find the circumference of a circle, for example, all right. So um, 2 pi, or if you want to find the diameter, you divide the circumference by pi. But ask yourself, what is pi? How did we come by this whole concept of pi? So I encourage my students to do an experiment to show. For example, you take any circle and you measure the distance around it, the circumference, and you measure the distance across, the diameter. Any circle, and we get all different shapes, sizes of circles, and do that experiment, and you will find that you will always keep getting 3.1 something something, which is how pi was derived. So once you understand that, then you say, okay, so if I know the circumference of any circle, once I divide it by pi, I'll get the diameter. So the idea is you understand how the formula was derived, and then you can go from scratch. Any way they give you the question, once you understand the concept, you can go from that. And if they put a twist to it, if they add a little this to it, because what I find is persons, for example, preparing for the CSEC, let's say,
Hmm.
that math, they do a lot of past papers, and they know exactly what to do if the question is this way. Once there is a change, any kind of shift, they are lost because they don't really understand the concept.
Yeah.
They just know how to work that particular problem and it must be given in that way, or they don't know what to do with it. So my students, and I would encourage anyone approaching math, try to understand how this was derived. Read some material on the concept. Do the experiment. Remember, some of these formulas that we have, it took mathematicians working on them for years, decades, sometimes their entire life was devoted to this. And we now have access to all of it. So we can go back and
Mhm.
see how it was derived. And in understanding that, then you can solve any problem.
Thank you for that. Come on, that's pretty good.
Yes.
No, I really appreciate the knowledge you've shared so far, and I find that you're a motivated person.
Yes.
You know, on Facebook, you are funny, and you are always sharing, yes, sharing inspirational, you know, quotes, and even in your own original posts, right?
Mhm.
2020 and 2021, people have, you know, it's been a hard year for many. How do you stay motivated, especially in this year?
Well, I firmly believe that I was placed on this planet in this time to do some serious work, and I have never shifted out of that gear really. I'm not saying that the whole pandemic has not taken a toll on me. I mean, it has in its own way, but I've never lost track of that mission and that passion that I have, and I've had this since I was knee high to a grasshopper. So it
Yeah.
just it is what I am, and is what I came to do, and I have to do. It's beyond me. It's above me. So it's not for me to quit. I
Yes.
didn't come to quit. I just have to do what I came to do.
Yes. That's so true.
Mhm.
So you're known for, you know, being someone who practices the diets that are sustainable, natural, vegan, and other different meditative ways of living, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? How did you begin and how do you maintain that lifestyle?
All right. So my ideal is raw foodist. However, I am presently I've never achieved that ideal completely, but I'm still working towards it. So I became a vegetarian at age 14, and I have maintained that so for over 30 years, with the exception of occasionally I'll have some fish, but other than fish, no other meat. But most of my diet is fruits. I'm not even that much into vegetables. It's
Oh.
really fruit is my passion, because I think, well, that is the most energy rich food. And when I say energy, not just chemical energy, but spiritual energy, electrical energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I also practice martial arts, although I've not been to the dojo since the pandemic. I do laps every morning, so I keep active even when I am fasting. And I started fasting when I was about 17, 18.
Oh.
It was very difficult at first,
Mm-hmm.
but over the years it has become really, really, I just snap into it usually. So I just completed 13 days. I stopped, when was it? Wednesday? Wednesday, I think. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a 13-day water fast. The longest I've gone is 21 days on coconut water.
Mm-hmm.
I've done 14 days water fast, um, different variations of intermittent fasting, water fasting, dry fasting. So this will definitely be a part of my life forever, because fasting is a way of, and also I meditate. I meditate 3 times per day.
Yeah.
I do affirmations. I have my
Mm-hmm.
vision boards. So when I get up in the morning, I'll meditate for half an hour looking at my vision boards, saying my affirmations, and then I'll make my fruit juices and I'll go and do my laps. So I do have a routine.
Mm-hmm.
Midday again, I'll do my meditation, and before I go to sleep, I'll do my meditation. And it's a whole ritual of particular songs that I sing and chants that I do, that I wrote just for me. When I'm walking in the mornings, when I'm doing my laps, I'm playing affirmations that I record. So it's a combination of a lot of things um, that keep me grounded and keep me calm.
Yes.
Yes, keep me focused.
And to you, that's the best lifestyle or best way of living.
Yes, I firmly believe that, and I'm fine tuning myself every day.
Hmm.
Nowhere near my ideal because I still eat things that I consider to be junk, even though they are not meat based.
Yeah,
So, for example, I love chocolate. I still eat.
me too.
I love chocolate. I will have certain biscuits and fries every now and then. So, which I consider to be junk. So, even though it's not meat based,
Yeah,
it's still junk, in my opinion. But I'm very gentle with myself.
yes,
I know where I'm going. I know what my goal is. And if I fall off for whatever reason or whatever time, I just hold back a little and say, okay, that's fine, and I'll go again. So
yeah,
definitely, I definitely believe in making plans and checking off your accomplishments as you go along. I definitely believe in recording, having a journal because, for example, when I'm fasting, I record all of it. I record, I record all, just about everything
hmm
that I do,
hmm
So the Egyptians said, "Man, know thyself,"
yeah,
and we have to study ourselves
yeah,
so that we can master not just the physical, but the emotional and mental aspects.
yeah. I feel like that you show that it's an imperfect journey, and you said be gentle with yourself because I think a lot of us aim for perfection when it's not possible in that
Hmm.
regard, because
Hmm.
our human design, right? It's
Yes.
imperfect, and that's why we.
And not just that, but the whole environment, you know.
Yeah,
For me, because even if you look at the fruits and veggies, they are exposed to toxins and whatever. So for me, I approach diets with an empathy for myself and empathy for the fruits.
yeah,
It's as if I'm saying, listen, I understand you too have been wronged. You
yeah,
too have been subjected to things just as I am.
hmm
So let's just embrace each other and see what we can do for each other, right? So I take the fruit in, and I also, whatever my body can't use, I replenish the earth with that. So
yeah,
it's an understanding that, listen, I know you're going through the same thing I'm going. You have been
yeah,
you have you have been traumatized just as
yeah,
I am. Because if you go through life and thinking, oh my God, the pesticides and the soil is not rich, and that you're going to just feel frustrated, and you're going to feel like it makes no sense
to
to
try.
even
Yeah.
try.
hmm
Right. So my approach is, listen, we're all in this boat, me, the plants, the animals, the whatever, we're all subjected to forces beyond our control, and we just try to see how we can help each other.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Sparking a children's book in my head about talking to the fruits. That's pretty good.
Another caterpillar book.
I know, right?
This time it's gonna be a mango.
Yeah, it's mango season.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. We could actually do with seeing a day in your life, but eventually, I think the
That would be
last question.
awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome because I think it will actually show people what it's like. You've been doing it for years. You're not a
Yes.
so-called expert. You're not
Donkey
someone who does
years.
it for throwing. Yeah. So it will be good to see how you've reached the point and seeing your morning to night routine. But one
Hmm.
day, right?
Okay.
I think the final question will be this. You know, time is everything. And sometimes we don't feel we have enough. you've done a lot in,
Mm-hmm.
your time here on earth, and every day you're doing as much as you can. How do you manage your time?
My time. Well, a lot of it has to do with the passion that I have for the things that I do, because you see, when you love what you do, you you get up and you do it. In addition to that, the diet gives you energy. Um, my diet being mainly fruits. Fruits provide the most energy. Like I said, not just on the physical, chemical level, but spiritually, energy, electrically, you get more energy. So I don't think I sleep more than 4 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
So I will go to sleep maybe 10, 11 in the night, and I work a full day, full to the brim, full.
And you don't feel
And
exhausted
I
or sick?
no, and I'll get up at about 2, 1, 2 thereabout. If so, if I go to sleep at 9, I might get up at 1, or I go to sleep 11, whatever. So roughly 3 to 4 hours of sleep, and then I'll get up in the middle of the night. I'll listen to some audio of probably some motivational or spiritual book, audio book. For example, some of my favorites are As a Man Thinketh, by James Allen, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, The Master Key System, the Kemetic Teachings of Tehuti, those kinds of books. I will listen for probably an hour and a half, and do some meditation, you know, that kind.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm working on my novels, then that will be the time I do most of my writing, in the wee hours when everybody else is asleep.
Mm-hmm.
That will be when I do most of my writing. I'm not presently working on a book, but I will start that back shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, and then it's, making my juice, my fruit juice, going to do my labs, come back, start school at 7:30, and school goes all the way down. Right now, school goes down to 8 p.m. because I have some
Wow.
students I'm helping out.
Yeah.
But I'm planning to cut back on that after the summer.
Mm-hmm.
No more night classes or weekend classes. That's a decision I made,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm at the point now where I don't want to do that anymore. I want to make time for some other things.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But as of now, pretty much 7:30 to 8,
Mm-hmm.
7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. at night is teaching,
Mm-hmm.
and running little errands during lunchtime, that kind of stuff. And of course, I have two children still at home who I have to attend to, that kind
Mm-hmm.
of thing. Yes,
So
doing
you're saying
chores.
your lifestyle, your diet, it energizes you. You
It
don't feel
does.
that
I don't feel
tired.
sluggish. I don't
Oh,
feel right, because I see people sleeping all night, and I'm wondering, well, how is that even? How do you even do that?
oh my gosh. You're like alien right now. But my grandparents do that. They sleep for like 4 hours, and I was like, whoa.
I'm saying, what would I be doing with 8 hours sleep? I would
Really?
be I would be tormented in the bed.
So when was the last time you were sick, or it's not something?
Um, I've not been sick in a while. I don't, I don't think anyone who knows me now can remember a time where I was sick.
Okay.
I don't think anybody I mean, apart from my mom who has known me all my life, my relatives, I don't think any of my friends or relations can say, I remember seeing her being sick.
Yeah.
it, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's great.
Mm.
No, we haven't even spoken about your writing. Can you tell us a little bit about? I know it's your favorite. pastime, right?
When I am writing, I am like I am that's heaven for me.
Yeah.
That I think apart from being a mother, giving birth to life, apart from that, because you know that is the ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, writing, I think, is the thing that makes me feel most like a creator, like a god.
Mm-hmm.
That's the god in me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm able to create these persons who come alive. They're alive in my mind and they're alive on the paper and they think and breathe and do things and have goals and are disappointed about things and are overjoyed about things. And when I am involved in writing a novel, let's say, I am deeply there are conversations that go on in my head night and day. These characters, they're telling me, it's like they're coming forth and telling me this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to say, and I'm just the messenger.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm speaking on their behalf,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just an amazing experience for me.
Yeah.
I'll be there and and the thing is, my writing, it's serious and it's humorous
Yeah.
at the same time. So I'll be there keeling over my own jokes,
Yeah.
right? As well as deeply involved in the plot and what message I want to bring across.
Yes.
Because for the life of me, I cannot be frivolous. Whatever I'm doing is gonna be heavy. It's gonna be even with the humor.
Yeah.
I can't be superficial in
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
It's just not me. So whatever I'm coming with, there's going to be something there. There's going to be a message. There's going to be some process,
Mm-hmm.
and I get involved in that, and I learn from that too.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's one of the reasons why I'm going to free up some more time, not do so much teaching in the night and the weekends, and free up some time because I have a lot of novels in note form
Mm-hmm.
that I've had them in that form for years, and they need the characters are telling me, listen, we need to
Time to write.
you need to come out now. It's
Yes.
time.
That
As well
happens to
as
me.
my YouTube channels.
Yeah.
There are so many different channels, and each one is going to allow me to express a different side of me.
Yeah.
So, for example, I have a YouTube channel that's going to focus on the 70s, and I'm going to be able to dress up in my afro wig and my 70s clothes, and I'm just planning to have so much fun on that channel.
Channel. Yeah.
Right. So it's a lot of things, you know.
Yeah. They're multifaceted. So, tell me a bit about. Well, this channel is about Jamaica. Two brought a question, if that's
Mm.
okay. Uh,
Sure.
what do you love about Jamaica back then and now?
Mm.
Yes.
Well, Jamaica, I think I always say, there's a reason I was born here. There are many reasons I was born here. Um, and I look back to the fact that Garvey was born here and Bob was born here. It's a special place. It's a very special place, and I couldn't live outside of the tropics. And every time I go to the food ban to get my fruits, I really am grateful that I live here and I have access to that variety of tropical fruits. I've been to other Caribbean islands, and trust me, the mango that they have is not no mango. The pear that they have is not no pear. We just have the very best, and I'm
Yes.
so grateful to be here
Mm-hmm.
because that's an integral part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up, My childhood was great. I I cherish it, and I feel fortunate to have been born here, in spite of all of the negatives, which they are rampant, um, and should not be ignored. But in spite of all of that, I am very grateful that I am a Jamaican, and I love being a Jamaican. Two of my channels are focused on Jamaica, so
Mm.
it's definitely it's a privilege. I think. Sorry, it's a privilege to be here because my it just fits so well in my lifestyle. Being able to the beach is just up the road, right? I just
Yeah,
and all of these things are integral part of me.
yeah,
And I'm just thinking, what if I were somewhere else? I couldn't live outside of the tropics. I'm telling you, I couldn't.
yeah.
So I'll visit, but not to live.
Okay.
So I'm proud. I'm a proud Jamaican. Proud Jamaican.
Yeah, definitely. And um I really love our anthem. I don't know the especially the part that says to work diligently and creatively. I think we are naturally a diligent and creative people, and
Mm.
there's a certain pride that comes with being Jamaican. That's not something that we can really describe.
You know what I love, especially even more than the anthem. I love the national song for schools.
Okay.
I pledge my heart forever. You know that
Yes.
whenever that song is playing, I mean, I'm taken to a place where it's just that pride and that just the honor
Mm-hmm.
and just wanting to give of your best to your people, in as much as I am very Afrocentric.
Yes, definitely.
I'm one of those persons who doesn't think that I need to choose. Some persons think you have to be either Afrocentric or you're gonna choose Jamaica. I'm not going to choose. The Caribbean, our Caribbean experience has helped to shape us. We
Mm-hmm.
were taken from our mother and we were raised by the Caribbean, and that is a part of who we are. And I'm not going to choose, I'm going to embrace both.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's
Yeah,
my position.
definitely. And to end, um, music. What are some of your favorite songs and some fun things about you?
Well, like I said, I'm stuck in the 70s, so
Subtitles.
so my favorite singer is Joan Armatrading.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness, I really cannot choose a favorite song. I list literal hundreds of songs. I started making a playlist the other day
Mm-hmm.
of special songs, that I love. And okay, so when I got to 20, I said, all right, so I'll have this, if I'm doing chores, whatever, I'll play it and, that's the vibes. You know how many songs on that playlist right now as we speak? Guess.
3,000.
It's not so bad. I have
How much are they?
120 something songs,
Okay.
120 some under one playlist, and those are just my favorites. So definitely anything from the 70s will get me in that vibe. Once I
Mm-hmm.
hear, sorry, let me plug in my charger, even though we're about to wrap up. Let me plug in the charger.
Yeah, and it's breaking up a bit.
Okay. So once I hear that, am I back now?
Yes.
Okay. So once I hear that 70s groove, I'm into that. I also love Peter Tosh. I love Bob Marley. Yes, I'm a music lover generally, so I can't choose one song.
Mm-hmm.
Fun facts. I'm a comedian, even though person most persons who see me moving about, they would not suspect, but I find humor in things, and I try to, I don't set out to make people laugh, but I do make people laugh in, just how I present things. And yeah, I don't know what else is fun, fun fact about me. Um, I'm looking for, I think I would love cosplay, that kind of stuff, because
Yes.
I'm so intrigued by just the prospect of dressing up. Just is like you're becoming a new character. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing most
Mm-hmm.
persons would not believe about me, because they tend, I tend to, when I'm serious, I'm serious, and that
Yes.
intimidates some persons. Really intimidates them.
Yes.
But when I'm flexing too. So
Yes.
it's a balance. It's a balance. I think I've found the balance.
Oh, that's great. But I'm really happy that you understand who you are and how to manage, make you happy and deal with your emotions, which is something I think we should all aim for, to understand ourselves, become more self-aware so that we can be the best we can be. Not perfect, but
It's the
contribute.
journey that's important. The journey,
Mhm.
and committing yourself to knowing yourself
Yes,
and improving upon yourself every day.
definitely. Well, thank you so much. It was a
You are
pleasure. We
most
couldn't talk
welcome.
all.
This was fun.
Yes. When is your birthday again? April the.
April 18,
Oh, okay,
and
great.
yours is not far from that, is it?
Exactly. So
The best
I'm
month of the year.
the best month of the year. Whoop, whoop. So make sure you big up Kamu on her birthday, of course. Follow her channels. Get connected with her. She's a phenomenal woman, Jamaican, educator, overall person, and she does add value to us on our Facebook, of course. So thank you so much again. Remember to subscribe to all our channels, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you,
Big up.
Latoya. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Take care.